I realize that that's like such a ridiculous thing to say out loud, like, oh, my life isn't aesthetic, but it's like my life isn't an aesthetic. My life is just a life. Watching this content about setting goals for 2024, and I started trying to think of that myself. I actually felt really bad for a split second there. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Christy. In today's video, we're doing a little day in my life. Obviously, the day is just starting, obviously. It is about 7:42, not about, it is 7:42. I got up at around 7:30. Mr. Baby Boy woke up around 7:30. So Barish is out in the living room with him now while I'm getting ready because I'm actually going to the office today. I am working predominantly remotely still. I will go in one day a week, and today is that day, so we're gonna film a little day in the life video for that. Actually, I need to do my skincare while I'm talking. What am I doing? This is like a lotion. What brand is this? Hada Labo. It's like a lotion toner situation, but I need to leave the house by 8:30. So I am very glad that I picked out my outfit last night. I'm gonna put on the Beauty of Joseon Glow Deep Serum next. This one's almost done. I do have a replacement because I really like this, but it's so low that I can't use the little dropper, so I have to pour it into my hand. On the docket for today, I am going to the eye doctor before I go into the office. The eye doctor that I'm going to is right by where I work. So we're gonna do that first. Probably pop over, get a little Starbucks. I think that the lunch at work today, they do catered lunches at work every Tuesday and Thursday. I think the lunch today is poke bowls, which I'm excited about, but also nervous about because I feel like I need to look up the place that they're getting it from because with raw fish, you got to be careful. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna put on is a little bit of the Beauty of Joseon SPF. I love their sun cream. This is my favorite one that I have tried from any brand ever of all time. Okay, I haven't tried that much, so like take that with a grain of salt, but I do really, really enjoy this one. My favorite part of my morning routine is when I wash my face. I don't even use a cleanser. I just wash it with cool water, and I swear that that's like the one thing that wakes me up. It feels so good. But anyway, I did very minimal skincare. We're gonna do a little makeup now. Let's go to my vanity. I was gonna show you my cute little skincare setup. So I got this little skincare organizer. I'm obsessed with it. I can link it below. It's from Amazon. It has this big section at the top, and I love that it's all covered so it doesn't get all dusty. And then it has two small pull-out sections and then a larger pull-out section at the bottom, and I'm obsessed. I need to figure out a way to organize my little hair products that I have here, but I'm very pleased with this. I am in an organizational process right now. I just organized my makeup. I did a video on that recently that I can link above and in the description, but I did my makeup, I did my skincare, and the hair products are next. But anyway, I love this thing. Sitting down at my newly organized vanity. I am so sorry that the lighting is atrocious. This lighting is horrific, but I need to have my makeup light on because of the overhead light. It's horrible, but it is so dark outside because it is such a rainy day. We are about to have a little cold blast, if you will, come through North Carolina. I shouldn't even say cold blast. We moved here from Chicago, and a lot of our family's still in the Chicago area, and it is frigid there now. Like, it's in the negatives there. So it's not going to be that cold. I think it's going to get down into like the 30s, which is cold for here. So I do not feel prepared. Like, who am I? I used to be a Chicago girl, and she was ready for the freezing cold weather, and now it gets to like 40, and I'm like, what's happening to me? So anyway, it's rainy and cold out, and it's kind of gloomy and dark, so the lighting is not great. Plus, I use blackout curtains for Kai because he's still sleeping in our room in his crib. And so I tried to like open them. It looks so janky. I'm not even gonna show you. It looks so janky. I tried to open them because they suction to the window, and it just looks, we're moving on. We're moving on. Okay, let's do a quick makeup look. Like, I'm giving myself like 5 minutes, which means I'm gonna try not to talk too much during this. I am gonna go in with the Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer. I use this or the Glossier Bounce Concealer. This one has a tiny bit more coverage than the Glossier one, so on days like today, postpartum, when I feel like I look a little more tired than normal and I need a little extra help, I use this Sephora one. I'm just gonna use this to spot conceal. So I usually do like my under eye area. I always do around the nose because I have a lot of redness around my nose. I don't really do any powder because, I mean, I do have a powder. I have a Kosas powder that I like, but I don't do a lot of powder because my skin leans dry anyway, and I just feel like powders just make me look drier. So I'm gonna go in next with a bronzer. I usually either use this Mario Badescu, nope, not Mario Badescu, Makeup by Mario Sculpting Skin Enhancer. I haven't used that in a while. You know what? Let's use that today, actually. I was gonna use my powder bronzer, but let's actually use this. I really like to use the Merit brush with this. It's a cream product, and it's like a little like sculpting, bronzing product, if you will. I haven't used this in a while. I usually just like dotted and blended in. I'm not like a makeup guru. I do love makeup and beauty products, but I feel like, I don't know. I know what products I like, but like technique, questionable. Questionable at best. But I do really like this product because I feel like it's super natural. I feel like, supernatural. I feel like as far as contouring products go, I don't really gravitate toward things like that. Like products that are, do you hear him? Products that are designed for specifically contouring. I just never really, I don't know, I just don't care. I just want a little bronzing. I don't need like the contouring necessarily. I mean, arguably need it. Need to be contoured, but I just like the bronzing effect more than anything. So I feel like this one adds a very natural, pretty effect. It's going to be really hard to tell because this light is blinding, but I'll show you after. And now we're going to do blush. I have an assortment of cream blushes. I love cream blush. That's like my current favorite product. I think I'm feeling maybe like a pinky vibe. So I think I'm gonna do the Pixie On The Glow blush. I love this blush. Highly underrated drugstore blush. This has such a nice glow to it as well. So I usually just dab it on there. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like the color is really pretty, especially if you have like fair skin like me and it leans a little cooler. I feel like this color, and it's the color Fleur. I feel like this is such a flattering color. And like I said, the glow on it is like, it's not sparkly at all. It just looks so dewy, which I really like that look. I know some people don't love that, but I love it. So I'm a big fan of this blush. They have other colors. I haven't tried them. I've only tried this Fleur color because I feel like this is just the perfect color for me. Okay, let's do a little bit of brows. Honestly, I have completely done away with brow pencil. I am just on the tinted brow gel train. I use the Boy Brow from Glossier. I use the color brown. And I literally just run this through my eyebrows. I start with the outside section because those are the sparsest. And I go into the front sections and brush it all the way through. I'm going to line my eyes. I am going to use this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Dimensional Dark Brown. And I just do the waterline with this. Even though I don't really have time and this is a bold choice, I am going to use my Stila waterproof liquid liner and do a tiny little wing on each side. I am going to spray in my face with a setting spray. I love this Morphe one. I'm almost out of it. I'm just going to use this little Rare Beauty mascara sampler. You know what's kind of sad? I feel like I need to apologize that this setup is so unaesthetic. And that's something I've really been struggling with lately. I'm like, I feel like my videos aren't aesthetic enough. And I realize that that's like such a ridiculous thing to say out loud. Like, oh, my life isn't aesthetic, but it's like my life isn't an aesthetic. My life is just a life. But I know that it's really fun to watch people that you can kind of aspire to. I do the same thing, like people who have aspirational apartments or aspirational lives or routines or whatever it may be. I feel like that's really fun to watch. And I don't know that that is what anybody would get out of my channel. I just don't have it in me to make sure that everything is super pretty all the time and super aesthetic and super well lit. That's also partially, I mean, I was gonna say it's also partially the phase of life that I'm in, but let's be honest, I didn't do this before I had a baby either. Like, I wasn't trying to make everything super aesthetic before, but I don't know. It's hard because I know people really enjoy content like that and people enjoy watching videos like that, but I also really appreciate when people show like their real lives and they show what things actually look like and they show, you know, how things aren't always perfect. So I hope that even though my channel might not be super aesthetic and pretty all the time, I hope that you still enjoy my videos. I think I've just been thinking about this, which we'll talk about 2024 goals and things like that and like setting goals and this kind of pressure to set goals, because I do want to talk about that in this vlog. But I think I've been thinking about it more because I've been finally now on yesterday, January 15th, really thinking through some goals for the year. I don't know, I think it's just been kind of top of mind because I don't want to have that become a pressure that makes me not want to make videos because I feel like everything is not pretty enough, not aesthetic enough. I don't know, I feel like I'm just blabbering on at this point. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you watch my videos, thank you. If you come back to watch my videos, thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's get dressed really quick because it is 8:12. That was a to-do. They were super, super nice there, but wow, I was there for literally an hour and a half. It is 10:50. I am ravenous. I literally stopped at Chick-fil-A, even though we're having lunch at work, probably in like an hour. I stopped at Chick-fil-A because I feel weak. I'm so hungry. So they were super nice there. But you know, as we know, if you're an American, you know that our insurance is a total scam. And let me tell you, the eye insurance benefit, again, hashtag blessed, very grateful that I even have eye insurance. I'm very grateful that I have that. Lol, that has to be a disclaimer in this day and age. I just can't believe how expensive it is to get glasses. I brought my own glasses, a pair that I had bought online, and I still spent hundreds of dollars. My eyes are not great though. My vision's really bad. And I have weird astigmatisms and stuff, but I'm just like, wow. I actually, foolishly, spent a bit of time looking at the glasses that they had there for sale. And I picked out the cutest pair, you guys. Oh my God, they were so cute. Very different than the other pair that I'm having lenses put into. I like to have multiple pairs because I do predominantly wear glasses, so I do like to have like 2 pairs. And the pair that I bought online that I'm getting lenses put into are definitely more of like a statement look. And these ones were a little sleeker. They were a designer brand, but when I tell you, by the time it was all said and done, it was gonna cost like $700. I'm sorry, for one pair of glasses. That's literal insanity. I don't need to rant on about that anymore. I just really couldn't believe it. I think I am gonna go to Starbucks. I wanna get an iced pistachio latte, or maybe a hot one. Honestly, I'm frozen. I'm so cold right now. It's 40 degrees outside. Okay, I'm at the Starbucks drive-thru. I did decide to get coffee, obviously. I love the pistachio latte at Starbucks. I feel like that is hands down the best syrup that they have. I know that might be a bold claim, but I love the pistachio. I think it's so good. I did get an iced one, even though I am so cold right now. I cannot believe that I've become a person who is frozen to their core at 40 degrees. Like, what happened to my Chicago strength? It's like I moved here and now I'm like, oh my God, 40 is so cold, I'm frozen, like my hands are numb. But I still got a nice drink, as one does. So I'm very amped about this. My plan for when I get into the office is that I'm going to lock myself into my office and knock a bunch of stuff off of my to-do list. I have a 1 o'clock meeting, but I am gonna be nose to the grindstone today to get a bunch of stuff done. It is a different day now. It is 2 days after I was filming my day in the life vlog and I went to the office. It is a Thursday now. I am working from home today. So the rest of my day in the office was super duper busy. I had 1 meeting, 2 meetings, and then I just wanted to really, again, stay focused and try to get as much done as possible while I was there. So that was very successful. And then I came home and I just wanted to be with Kai. I had missed him so much while I was at the office. So I just wanted to soak up the couple hours I had with him before he went to bed. So I did that. Yesterday was a hard day. Yesterday just wasn't a great day for me mentally. Kai took super short naps. He took like a 30-minute nap in the morning and in the afternoon. I was super tired because I didn't get enough sleep. I feel like sleep impacts so many things. I feel like when you're tired, everything just seems worse than it is. So I understand why postpartum can be such a hard time at different points throughout that journey, because sleep is everything. And if you are super tired, it really does impact everything going on around you, and it impacts your mental health. It just makes everything seem so much more overwhelming than it actually is. And that is how I felt yesterday. So I got a good night's sleep last night. Barish got up with Kai this morning, so I got to sleep in a tiny bit. And Kai took such great naps today. I'm so proud of him. He took a 2-hour nap this morning and then an 1.5-hour nap this afternoon. Yeah, Mama's so proud of you. It's about 3:30 right now, and I'm working a little bit while he plays on his little activity center. I am wearing my Grinch Christmas crew neck sweatshirt. It is what it is, you guys. This is just where I'm at right now. But I did want to sit down and talk about New Year's resolutions and goals for 2024 because I have been getting served so much of that content on YouTube. YouTube is my main platform that I consume content on, and I've been noticing, obviously since the beginning of the year, that I've been seeing so many inspirational videos of setting goals for 2024 or New Year's resolutions, things like that. Historically, I am very much the kind of person who loves to set goals at the beginning of the year. In this postpartum journey, and having a almost 6-month-old now, going into the new year, I was like, what are goals? What are resolutions? I really couldn't tell you. Watching this content about setting goals for 2024, and I started trying to think of that myself, I actually felt really bad for a split second there because I was like, wait, why do I not have any goals? Why is nothing coming to mind? Why does this feel really overwhelming? Yeah. Just having the time of his life over there. But I was like, why does this feel so overwhelming to think about goals for the year? Especially at the end of December and like that first week of January, because another reason I love to set goals at the beginning of the year is that my birthday's at the beginning of the year. My birthday's January 5th. So it really is not only a new year for everyone, but it's also a new year for me, a new year of life. So I really enjoy that usually. And that first week of January, I felt a little frozen because I was like, I really feel overwhelmed and like not excited at the thought of setting these goals. The idea of trying to nail down some goals for the year feels almost impossible because it's just in this postpartum time, it's like everything changes so much from day to day, like what you're able to get accomplished, how productive you can be, that setting goals almost felt like setting myself up for failure, if that makes sense. So I basically told myself, I was like, Christy, who says you need to make goals? You don't need to make goals. Just because you're seeing all of this content on YouTube and all these videos on YouTube that are talking about goals doesn't mean that that's something that you also have to do right this second, which like, duh, but sometimes you need to tell yourself. Sometimes you need to check yourself. I think for me, in the phase of life that I'm in, my goals just have to look a little bit different, at least for my mental state of mind. I waited until literally this past weekend. So today's the 18th that I'm filming this. So I think on the 14th, give myself 2 weeks. I finally this past weekend, I was like, okay, I think that I can actually think through these goals and come up with some that are gonna work for me and that aren't gonna feel like something I'm gonna fail at inevitably. So I wanted to share them with you guys. This is part of the struggle of filming with him, is that I don't want him to be on camera. We're not trying to make you a social media baby. We're just not. So for the goals that I've set 9 goals. So 4 of them are YouTube content creation goals and the other ones are more personal goals. So let's start with the YouTube ones. The first one is that I want to start a newsletter. Now that I'm saying this here, that means I'm really gonna have to do it. So I'm gonna start a newsletter. I'm not gonna get too in depth in that, but hopefully you will sign up for it when I launch it. There is a project that I'm working on for YouTube / my newsletter. So I'm gonna be vague about that because that is a work in progress. It's probably not gonna come till the second quarter of the year. Another goal for that is that when I do launch the newsletter, I'm gonna try to get 100 newsletter subscribers by the end of the year. And I also would like to reach 5,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. So those are my YouTube goals. My personal goals. The first one is to create a better chore system and schedule. I kind of feel like every day feels like a mad dash to see what we can get done. And I would like to implement more of a schedule for our chores. So, you know, a set schedule for laundry, maybe more of a set schedule for more deep cleaning tasks. So things like deep cleaning the bathrooms, deep cleaning the kitchen, things like that. I want to create a set system and schedule for things around the house, for meal planning, things like that. I feel like having a set schedule or plan will make things just go a lot smoother and will just provide a relief from some of that anxiety that comes from wanting to constantly be getting these things done and not feeling like we're actually checking them off the list. That is one personal goal. Another is to read 30 books. My goal in 2023 was to read 30 books and I was 2 books short and I was so upset. I was like, I track all of my reading on Goodreads, so I will be updating that throughout the year, but my goal once again for this year is to read 30 books. Another personal goal is to learn a new language. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. In 2022, I did take French language classes. I took French in high school and college and wanted to kind of brush up on the very basic knowledge that I have. And I took a 6-week language course for French and I absolutely loved that. So I would like to dive back into language learning and make that a goal for this year to try to become a little conversational in a language. I would obviously love to learn Turkish. If you're new here, my husband is from Turkey, so I would love to learn Turkish, but I found that apps like Duolingo don't seem super accurate with their method of teaching Turkish. So I kind of feel like I'd have to find a different avenue for that or learn from a person. So I need to kind of think about that, but I have a feeling I might try for Spanish this year. So that is a goal, to start learning a new language. Another goal is that I want to take at least 3 trips this year. This is something Barish and I are currently talking about and planning. I'm hoping for 1 international trip. I have some low-level anxiety about our first trips with him, but honestly, I feel like it's the kind of thing you just need to rip the Band-Aid off and just go for it. So we are hoping to do 3 trips this year in 2024. And then my last personal goal is to walk every day and get to at least 10,000 steps a day. We've been taking lots of walks with Kai Kai here. He loves being outside, so I'm hoping to implement that every day that we can, is taking a nice long walk and getting 10,000 steps in a day. But those are my goals for 2024. I guess my little spiel at the beginning is to say there's no real timeline on when you need to set goals or if you need to set goals at all. If you don't want to set goals for 2024, more power to you. Just live your life. I think that we get really stuck in this idea that we constantly need to be holding ourselves to productivity and holding ourselves to a schedule or a list of things we should be doing. But there's also a lot of peace and value to be found in living your life in the moment and accepting that life doesn't look the same in all stages and in all moments. And that's whether or not you have a baby. You know, there are different factors that impact life. Things change all the time. So I guess I just say all this to say, don't give yourself a hard time if you feel like you should have set goals and you didn't, or if you feel pressure to set goals but you don't have an interest to, or if that makes you feel anxious. Just know that you don't have to do that. Give yourself permission to not set the goals. I feel like I set very low level easy goals for myself this year because that's what feels accessible to me right now. And I feel fine with that. I'm excited to work toward these goals, and I'm also not going to give myself a hard time if I don't meet all these goals. If I'm not conversational in Spanish by the end of the year, it is what it is. I did my best and that's all we can do. So I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so below. Hopefully a lot more travel content will be coming this year. I'm so excited to plan some trips. I just cannot wait. Your girl needs to get on a plane. She hasn't been on a plane in over a year, which is wild for me because I love to travel. If you watch my channel a lot, you know that I do a lot of travel content. So I'm really excited to get back to that. This little wild child here, I think, is ready to go roll around on his play mat. So that is what we're gonna do. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it as always, and I will see you in the next one.